Hey folks, I'm just looking over our past couple weeks of crazy music monsters here, and we're going to draw some more tonight. So it's Comics Workshop coming to you from merrickbennett.com. Thank you to the patrons over on the Patreon. If you want to join, you can help us do more live draws and videos and how-tos, and comics and graphic novels. Today we're going to be penciling, inking, erasing as always. And I've got some paper, I've got a pencil, I've got some ink, black ink, and I've got an eraser. So I think I'm ready to go here. And I notice I wrote in my calendar for today's music monster, some kind of note to myself. So I'm going to keep that over here. Octopus and piano. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, I got some ideas here. You can draw along or you can just watch. If you're on Facebook, feel free to comment. Let's make the piano part first, because that I know how to do. Let's give ourselves like a keyboard, but this is going to be like one of those big, long wrapping keyboards. And then we'll put the monster back here. All right. So monster here. I like to rough out the basic shape of the picture. And then we'll put like it'll be like a big box keyboard here. Maybe we'll put little wheels on it down here. There we go. Basic rough shape. Now we're going to add some details to it, of course. Let's see. We'll put like a top on the, well, a bottom on the keyboard, and then the keys are going to be all in here. So let's just do like lines going up, like huge keys. This can be sort of a cartoony monster. And if you want, you know what might be cool is if the keys kind of come out radiating away from the monster. See how they sort of point back to the monster there? I'm going to try that on the other side, actually. See how these kind of point back to the monster? I'm going to try that here. This is why I use pencil, so I can erase these lines. Make lots of mistakes, try things out, come up with hopefully some new ideas every now and then. So I've never quite seen an octopus monster playing a piano or a keyboard. Well, let's see what we can do. This already looks kind of cool. Looks like I feel like I'm sitting on the keyboard looking towards this monster because these lines kind of converge on the monster. It's not a monster yet. I'm going to take out this smiley face because that doesn't look monstrous enough. We're going to put, let's try like, you can make it a smile. You could flip that over and make it a grimacing, groaning, singing monster, but let's just put a mouth on there. I like my monsters with big, eye-catching teeth. So we'll put some teeth in there, and that's looking more monstery. This could be a smooth body. This could be a rough body, fluffy, scaly, whatever texture strikes your fancy here. Now I know this is not an, already we've hardly got a piano. I don't know if we're just going to toss that out because now we've got an idea. But I'm going to use the octopus tentacle idea. I like the idea of tentacles. Like, what if you had multiple tentacles to play this keyboard? Now I'm just going to rough it out with lines of pencil, and then we'll make them more cartoony. So I'll bring a tentacle up like this and bring it down to a key here. And maybe I'll bring another tentacle up like this and bring it down to another key. And maybe another tentacle on this side. As many tentacles as you want or can fit. And they can kind of cross over each other and even loop around and come down to other keys. That looks kind of cool. Maybe I'll bring a tentacle up here, loop it around and bring it down to another key. You can sort of wiggle them around, bring them across. Maybe that one's like dragging along the keyboard. You know what's missing from this keyboard? We've got these white keys, or the main keys here, the bottom keys, and then there's the black keys up above them, a little shorter. So here's the pattern I use. We'll give it one key here, and then the black key goes right on this line here. I'm going to rough out a little rectangle, like halfway up. Does that sort of look like a piano keyboard? It can be any color, but I'm going to do these black and white for now. So we'll do one line has a black key, second line has a black key, skip it on this line. 1, 2, skip. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3 for a piano keyboard. Or you can make up a different pattern for your monster keyboard. 1, 2, skip, 1, 2, 3, skip. Then repeat that. 1, 2, following these lines, skip. 1, 2, 3, skip. Look at that. We got 2 octaves there. Very cool. And you know what? I'm not even going to black these in. I'm just going to leave them like that. When I come into ink, I will black them in. Let's focus on these tentacles. All right, let's flesh them out. We've got our guidelines here. So now to flesh it out, I'm just going to give it the sides of this thicker tentacle. And then we'll bring it down. Maybe it comes to a point there. See that? That's a thicker tentacle. And then I can erase the guideline and any lines it crosses. Although I might want to do something cool like have it go in front of this tentacle. So we'll just erase that tentacle through there. And then behind this tentacle, remember our knots with our weaves, we can go over and under, over, under. So this one will come in front of that one. That'll make it sort of look like they're crossing in front of each other as they go to the keyboard. So we'll erase the underline there. That looks cool. We'll come right along here, erasing these guidelines. Very cool. And this one's going to come right out of here and go, what did we say? Under or around. Come down. You can flesh them out, make them as thick as they need to be. Thicker will look more cute and cartoony. Thinner will look more like rat-taily or tendrily. Let's see if this one comes out and goes over here and under here. It'll look something like that. Then it would go over here again, I guess, if we want to have a pattern of alternating. So then this one will go under. It will go over. We'll go under. It's kind of fun. Maybe we'll make it go over and then under itself. And maybe it comes down. Yeah. So that goes under. So here it will go over. Bonk. This one will go under. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tentacles. That's probably enough for our keyboard player. We'll go over, under, over, under. I have an idea. Let's give these tentacles a little texture. This one, let's bring this one down to this black note right here. Womp. I'm not sure what monster chord this creature's playing, but I'm sure it sounds pretty cool. Let's see. I have an idea for texture. Let's just try this. We'll erase these guidelines. Those tentacles look nice and thick and wavy and wiggly. You know, I think we could have, I almost want this one to wiggle a little more. This kind of goes up and down and it looks kind of plain. Let's try giving this one a different guideline, a little more lively. Let's see. What if it came up and went like that? Didn't quite touch the keyboard. Let's just try that. And what does it go? It went over here, so I guess it would go under here. But you know, I don't have to stick to that pattern. I kind of like it going over because it feels like it's coming down in between these tentacles. So maybe it'll just go like that. You can change them as much as you want, make all the changes you need to. It's easier to change now while it's penciled rather than when you ink it. Oh, this one needs eyes, I think. I'm going to put the eyes up on stalks. I don't think we've done any eyes on stalks yet. So I'll just put 2 eyes up here. I'll give it the same outlines as the body. I think the body has these sort of short fluff. I'll give it the same outlines. Give it a stalk down. I'm already thinking about where those pupils will go. Oh, that looks suddenly very friendly. Cross-eyed pupils make it look really silly. Of course, you could also close the eyes as if it's singing. We've got a lot of monsters with like closed eyes singing, though, with a couple V's in there. So maybe this one's like rolling its eyes. I'll put these pupils up a little bit. I like to leave that white spot in the pupils. And if you want, let's try bringing a tentacle in here, maybe a tentacle around back, and it comes around. Maybe there's a microphone in that tentacle. Bring this one around here like this. And let's put the microphone right here. So we'll just give it like a box body, round top, a little band, and then little cross, 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 cross lines for the head of the microphone. And then don't forget to give it a cord, and that's the fun part. We'll go behind that tentacle and in front, and then maybe down behind the keyboard there. And the cord we can make thinner than the tentacles. We'll just tuck it in there, bring it around in front, tuck it behind the keyboard there. And now this monster is, oh, that's kind of cute. It's like casually holding the microphone up as it plays. Nice. And of course, I'm thinking the mouth is going to be nice and dark, but I won't black it in with my pencil. I'll do that with the ink. And that's probably good. So what was I was thinking, oh yeah, the texture of the tentacles. I have a feeling, I like to do this. If I give it a little curvy line there, that might make it look a little more round. Give curve, 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 and all along that tentacle, we can do those curves. Holding the curve. So those texture lines, no, I'm not going to ink this guideline, I don't think. So that won't be there. But these texture lines make it look sort of like earthworm tentacles. I like that. I'm going to do that on all the tentacles. And I think it almost looks, I don't know if you can see this, but it almost makes them look like they're wiggling more, like they're like earthworms slithering across the keyboard. Like, adds a little bit of an ick factor to a sweet, cute monster, an otherwise sweet, cute monster. Definitely a plus in my book for my monster bands, combining cute and creepy and icky. Lots of tentacles, lots of music. I don't know. Everybody's got their own taste in monsters. Oh, I like the look of those lines. And then once this is inked, we could actually come in and color that monster and have the tentacles be like striped patterns of colors, which would look crazy and probably add to the festive nature of its music. You can tie bandanas and put decorations on these tentacles all you want. Notice these curved lines help you see the tentacle apart from the cord, I think. Yeah. It's going to take a little longer to ink. Oh, look at this. We didn't finish the tip of this tentacle. I'm thinking it too fast here. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's put it round like that, as if it goes around the microphone, then bring it back on this side and bring the tip over in front like that. Does that sort of look like it wraps around it and is holding it tight? So you don't actually, you can't see the back end of the tentacle around behind the microphone, so you don't have to draw it. Just bring it to a round end, bring it back up here, round side as it comes around, give it a point. There you go. So let's see. Oh, this is going really nicely, but I notice we have 4 tentacles on this side, so I kind of feel like we need some, maybe a gesturing tentacle on this side. Maybe it comes up in front of this tentacle and kind of just hooks in the air like it's about to come crashing down on some cool chord on the keyboard. And let's give it the round texture lines. That looks a little thin there, so I'm going to fix it, make it a little more even. Because my pencil lines can always be changed right up until I'm about to ink. Yeah, that's cool. This one in the air, this one coming down, and these 2 on the keyboard. So that kind of creates a nice wiggling motion coming and going on the keyboard. Oh, that's so fun to draw. Let's put a little bit of ink on there and see how it's going. See how it's going to look. I think this is one of those ones that I start with my thick line marker. Let's see here. We'll put the cabinet on this keyboard. Tiny little wheels there on the bottom. You know, one other thing I may want to try. I wonder, let me go back to pencil. I just thought of something. What if this key comes down slightly because this tentacle is pressing on it? So the keys sort of are up and down a little bit. So this one would be down slightly. This one would be up and this one would be up. It wonder if that would look about right, or if that would make it. Oh, you know what else we can do? We can add some lines under these tentacles to kind of make shadows on the keyboard. It depends on how realistic you want to get. This one's getting pressed down, so we'll move it down a little bit. This one's getting pressed down. It'll be down a little bit. Just at the end, I just move that end as if it's getting pressed down slightly. And this one, you can't really tell. Okay. We could put some design or band name on the front of this keyboard. Let's see, bring these big lines down. I think like swirling designs would be really cool on the front of this keyboard, but I'll do that last. I want to get some ink on our monster. So I'm going to do these texture lines with a thin line pen. I'll set that aside for now, and I'm going to do the outlines, the main shapes of this monster in thick lines because I want them to stand out. Whoops, little slip there. That tentacle got away from me. That's all right. It's a flexible tentacle. It does that sometimes as it's wiggling through the air. Totally fine. I'll let that tentacle be its own shape. I think we did that on these. Yeah, see, these are banjo monsters had the thick line drawn on the outside and then all the details done with the thin line pen. So we'll do that here too. I like that effect. It makes it a little easier to see the main big shapes from a distance. Then when you lean in close, you can see the details. Let me come in and do these keys. These are going to be all the same height, and then that one doesn't line up because it's pressed down. And that one doesn't line up. I like the look of those pressed down keys. It's subtle. Oh, I got to go. Oh, this is an interesting chord here. I got to go try playing it on a keyboard or a piano or something, see how it sounds. Oh yeah, I like the look of those keys, and it really jumps out when you get some thick lines on it. Let me do the rest of these tentacles, and we'll see how those lines look. I love drawing these monsters, as I keep saying, because you can add as many details as you want, and if something goes a little funky, like the shape of my tentacle here got a little away from me, you know, that's okay. That's just how that monster looks. It's how that monster wants to look. They give our creations some space to just be themselves. Not always the way we intend them to be. Oh, those tentacles look cool. I like how some are rising, some are falling, some are on the keyboard. Let's put the fluff lines of the body in just to see how that's going to look. I haven't decided what kind of texture this body has. Maybe no texture at all. Our other monsters had a lot of texture. A lot of, oh my goodness. I just realized I'm doing like a pinwheel fluff pattern. See how it all kind of points around? And I learned that from studying that white-breasted nuthatch up close in our Friday live draw. I showed the picture. Oh my goodness, that monster is inspired by a bird who flew into my window just before last Friday's live draw. I'll post links to those. And if you haven't done the other live draws that we've been doing, the Monday Music Monster live draws, I'll post links to those. You can try out. We've got banjos, guitars, accordions. Now we have Piano Monster. And we're putting a whole band together this month. And if you head over to the Patreon there, I'll put that link right there. If you head over there, you can sign up there for any amount this month, and you'll get all the updates, all the invites, and all the sketchbook pages that go into these things too. There's a lot of different sketches happening, a lot of different techniques, and we're planning some cool vacation stuff coming up. So I'm posting all those links and all that material over on the Patreon. And thanks to patrons for supporting it. We are at almost at 20 minutes here, and that's my goal, to do 20 minutes. Do a quick live draw, leave you with something you could keep drawing, or you could try yourself, or just a fun experience of seeing a monster come to life. And this one is definitely one of our liveliest musicians. So like I said, I'm going to black in this mouth. I'll post all the inked artwork over on the Patreon. Let's just see how one of these tentacles looks when we add those rounded lines. The earthworm effect. Oh, I like it. It's wiggling all over the place. Even though it got away from me, got out of shape there. Just going to leave it, let it be the flexible tentacle it is. I'm not really following my lines, but I know what I want it to look like from those pencil lines. Oh, that looks very cool against the keyboard and the fluff shape of the body. I like how in cartooning, you know, we can leave details out and your imagination will fill them in. So I'm not going to shade these. I'm not going to get into lots and lots of detail. Just this repeated curved line adds to the shape. I think it makes them move a little more. Really nice to draw together, make monsters together, make whatever you're making together. Thanks for joining us. Let's do one more tentacle, and then we'll close with those keyboards, those keyboard keys. And I will be posting the finished inked artwork. I kind of want to just finish this right away. Post it over on the Patreon. Let's see. I'll see if I get a chance. I can't resist at least one eye too. You can add some blood shots to those eyes. It is a monster after all. It's got to have some monstrous, crazy elements to it. What did I say? Oh, the keys. So this is just a single thin line because those keys are really close together. Not a lot of space between them, except for those pressed down ones. And I think I can do those black keys super fast. If you're thinking this will make a good coloring page, you want to leave the colorist's options open. You might want to just outline those black keys like that. Then the colorist can make a purple or orange or whatever you want. If you want them to be black keys, and I kind of want this to stand out as a keyboard, well, I'm just getting out my marker and blocking in spot black that shape there. That's a nice deep black. That'll show up. Wow, from a distance now suddenly, boom, that's a keyboard. Something about that. You recognize that pattern. 2, skip 3, skip 2, skip 3. If you're a piano player, you know that pattern. You recognize it. You can start to hear. You can probably even hear that chord. It's like a and then of course the singing voice getting picked up on the microphone there. Well, I'm going to keep inking this. You can keep working on your monsters. Love to see what you're drawing. Head on over to the patreon.com/Merrick Bennett site. We've got a lot more monsters happening over there, a lot more how-tos and some new comics coming out. Getting ready to do my midwinter mailing to patrons. Thanks to new patrons who have signed up for your patience. I'll get those mini comics out to the Mini Comics Club and the graphic novels, out to the graphic novel lovers. And we'll be drawing again later this week sometime. So I'll send out the invites. Oh, so fun. Nice to draw with you. We now have a really rockin' band. I'm going to add this monster to the monsters we have. And next week's our grand finale. We'll have one more monster join the band. And what will it be? Nobody knows yet. We'll do a poll for patrons. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Keep drawing, keep creating, keep imagining monsters, keep imagining their music, and then go out and make it happen. Ooh, I can't wait to color this one too. Oh. All right. Have a wonderful week. Thanks for drawing with us. Be well, be safe, be warm. See you soon.